Hello, my loves. Let's just dive right into it. You see, self acceptance and happiness is not good for the economy, it's detrimental to the economy. A few years ago, I read a book called Reasons to Stay Alive by Matt Haig. And now, stick with me, is the book is not as cliche as the title may sound. And there was one quote from the whole book that's really stuck with me. And I was in my early 20s back then. But I still wanted to reiterate it. Here it goes. The world is increasingly designed to depress us. Happiness isn't very good for the economy. If we were happy with what we had, why would we need more? How do you sell an anti aging moisturizer? You make someone worry about aging. How do you get people to vote for a political party? You make them worry about immigration. How do you get them to buy insurance? By making them worry about everything. How do you get them to have plastic surgery? By highlighting their physical flaws or seemingly flaws. How do you get them to watch a TV show? By making them worry about missing out. How do you get them to buy a new smartphone? By making them feel like they're being left behind. To be calm becomes kind of a revolutionary act. To be happy with your own non upgraded existence. To be comfortable with our messy human selves would not be very good, would not be good for business. Matt Haig from Reasons to Stay Alive. I wanted to touch on this quote and expand and say that, as we age, as we grow up, we start seeing some wrinkles on our face or maybe different seemingly imperfections. But the thing is that even nature isn't perfect. Nature looks beautiful, but if you tune in and if you notice each and every single detail, there's a little bit of chaos in nature, and that's what makes it beautiful. So if we don't embrace the chaos in ourselves, if we don't embrace the imperfections, how are we going to survive? We are going to fall for every little gimmick out there, every little scam, every little beauty product. Oh, this will get rid of this. I'm not saying don't do your beauty routine or don't do your skincare routine. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, there has to be a certain balance. There has to be a certain balance, but you have to see where you're going. You have to see if incorporating your beauty routine is causing you to be really uptight and anxious about aging, so you keep buying new products in order to prevent that. You know what I would say? Chill out and breathe. We're all gonna age, and maybe some of us actually wouldn't. And aging is a privilege because not everyone gets to die old. Some of us die very, very, very young. So there's no harm in acceptance. And how do you arrive at acceptance? That how do I accept? If, for example, for me, for example, I have a little wrinkle here, like, and I got it as a result of a lot of psychological pain because of I realized it was in my early 20s, but it wasn't as dominant, but I got it eventually. And now I feel like it's been there for because of the reasons, because I have been sometimes in the past screaming or and all that. So sheer psychological pain. I don't want to get into the details. But I feel like it's a mark now. It's my mark. It tells my history. And I own it. I own it because it's my history and it's my story. And I will change it. I mean, obviously, I had thoughts about doing filler, Botox, blah, 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 to get rid of the wrinkle. But since I'm also an actor, not just because majorly because I'm an actor, but still, I wouldn't want to inhibit the expression on my face, so I choose not to. And this video is not about anti-botox or anything like that. It's just about trying to help you come towards self-acceptance and just touching on the toxic world of our side of self-development. You have to change this, you have to change that. Okay, leaving physical appearances aside, let's come to the topic of internally. Okay, we always, sometimes when you get into self-development, you feel like you're not enough. You feel like you have to keep healing. It becomes a sort of a healing it's like it's written on your lips, it's written on your face, it's written on your head, it's written on your hair, it's written everywhere. Heal, I have to heal, I have to heal, I have to heal. But to what extent? Where's the living? Tell me, where's the living? It isn't there, right? As much as you thought it would, if you're really consumed by the self-development aspects, so I would just say, even though I didn't want this to be an advice video, I just wanted to talk about these things. I wanted to say that we need to learn to live more than we need to learn to heal. Because yeah, that might sound controversial, but hear me out. We need to learn to live more than we need to heal, because the healing is also in the living. And the living involves breathing, dancing, singing, doing what makes you happy, meeting up with loved ones, socializing, this, that. And that involves the healing. Healing is not a solitary practice on its own all the single time. It can be. You can make it solitary if you feel like you might harm others, and you're in such a space that you might project onto others and make them bleed, like metaphorically. Then it's important to isolate yourself a little bit, and make sure that you heal yourself a little bit. It may be in therapy or anything that helps you, and then get out and start living when you know that you are no more harmful towards others and you don't project anymore. um let me just so, and the gist of my video is the quote from Matt Haig's book, because self-acceptance, remember, self-acceptance and happiness isn't good for the economy, and that's how you crash the economy. So let's do that. Why not change the world a little bit? Why don't we change these capitalistic things a little bit, you know upside down and all that? It's fun. It's not just fun, but it's revolutionary. It is required. We can't be living like this all the time. We can't keep on like this. It wouldn't work. Maybe it would work, and we would be numb and putting on a mask, but inside we'll be all dead, and we kind of are these days. So it's so important to know and realize these things. I used to think these are common sense, but this is not common sense these days. I feel like you go on TikTok, you feel like you're seeing these trends: cat energy, dark feminine, this, that. Everything is labeled. I hate these labels. Why are you feeling the need to label every single thing? Why can't we just be? These labels are what are getting in the way of our experiencing things fully and immersing in them. And also labeling people as well. Labeling people as certain and certain and certain is really going to be detrimental as well, because we wouldn't understand the full spectrum of the human individuality and expression, and we wouldn't be willing to see where it's coming from. I know we should not allow any harm to ourselves. We should remove ourselves from them. Any person who is causing harm, who is just causing us harm. We need to remove ourselves from them. We know that. That's also. But we also need to try to label